Hello everyone. You're going to learn about OpenShift Virtualization in this video series. In this section particularly, you're going to learn about how to create a virtual machine with the VM definition file. Be sure to like my video and subscribe to my channel. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is the purpose of this video? Virtual machine definition file allows to create a virtual machine with the simple OC apply command. Exporting VM definition into file opens a way to automate the creation of virtual machines through a DevOps pipeline. What you're going to see in this video, we're going to start with the VM definition file. We're going to walk through a simple VM definition file structure, and we are going to create a VM by applying a VM definition file. And lastly, we're going to verify a created VM and starting the VM. Let's see how we can start with VM definition file. Probably the easiest way to create a VM definition file is exporting the one YAML file information from our existing VM. We can export this VM definition file and remove the runtime information and modify it, and we should be good to go. Let's walk through a sample VM definition file and look at the structure and to understand what we have to change, etc. So here's our sample definition file for VM. We are using Fedora. Here's some comment, but we have to give it some name, has to be a unique name, and there's some indentation, etc. Description and so forth. So here's a label, which is easy to identify, and then you give like app names, etc. So you can define that. But what we are really concerned is just coming from the spec. We are creating data environment, the template, and this will actually create a PVC using the data volume. We define access mode, resource, basically request for the size. Storage class name matters because using the Ceph, so make sure to modify that. And the volume mode, we're using the block. Here's some label. We mentioned different things, including the size of the VM, etc. And here's our CPU, other things. Devices won't really matter because we define the disk. And this has to be coming from the volume section, which is defined in the bottom. And here, as you can see, one is for the ISO, one is for the file disk. And network, we are using the default network, using the vert.io. Now, let's create a VM by applying VM definition file. So I'm logging into OpenShift in this from CLI, and I can type the project namespace I'm in, and here it is. Only thing I need to do is I have to do OC apply with the file name with the -f, and it will create a VM. So now let's verify and then start the VM. So here when we go to web console, you see the name VM Fedora Workstation. That's one we created. So now you will see the event is basically showing that it was data volume was created, which it created PVC. And we can also go to persistent volume claim and verify there is our ISO image disk and also R for the file disk. Let's go back to our virtual machine and we click our VM. Here it is. Now we can start the process of starting the VM. So we click the actions and then click start. And we can monitor through the event. It's starting and we should be good to go. So that's it. Thanks for watching this video about OpenShift Virtualization series. By watching this video, hopefully you have a better understanding how OpenShift Virtualization works. Be sure to check out other video to understand better about OpenShift Virtualization, and see you next time. Bye bye.